So, this is June. Had amazing energies this week. I've had a couple of realizations out on walks. One revolves around confidence. Self-confidence. That came up on my walk and had a good cry about it. Then I came back in later and I checked the definition of it, which was self-confidence and a variety of other words, and got me to thinking, if it's confidence of the self, what are my achievements? Because it spoke of, having the ability to succeed and, different things like that. And I used to be a level 3 ski instructor and a level 2 coach and an examiner. I was quite proficient. That life, part of my life ended. I was reduced to not being able to count backwards from 10. And I've progressed from there. And even though I've celebrated every day and been very conscious of each and every one of my successes were things like learning how to speak again, learning how to match up faces with names of my family, learning how to navigate through a doorway without banging, my extremities, learning how to drive without, with the upper body separation that I could look around without the steering wheel coinciding with my gaze. A lot of things like that. Learning how to prioritize things like, washing my face in the morning and then getting dressed and making sure I ate. But how do these, even though they are my successes, how do these relate to me being an entrepreneur? And yes, I can draw, and I can feel the energy, and I can pass energy through me. Anyways, that it came back to the ability to succeed. As an entrepreneur, I didn't really feel that I had the stuff, to play in that game, and yet, I've never been able to just give up. That's just has not been part of this adventure for me. So it's just rehashing it, rethinking it, and finding something to aim towards. So, the next day, and also this is kind of weird. In the way that Google works for me, bit of a distraction tool, more so than finding the answers I'm seeking. It's more like they catalyze something within me. So as I was looking at the different definitions, because I wasn't finding one that was making me feel all fuzzy, self-confidence, the descriptors of it were not seemingly something that related to me or something that I could list underneath the different definitions. And then as Google happens, there's always a little bit more that catches your eye. So I clicked on that, and it was from a psychological point of view. And it spoke of, with people with brain injuries, I believe they said something like, the norm is, neurologically, that those that have really big abilities tend to underestimate themselves, and those with no abilities at all tend to overestimate themselves, which falls into the category of hubris, right? And so this kind of relates back to self-confidence. When you have way more confidence in what you have a right to have. And then it went on to say, people with brain injuries, I can't remember their wording, but essentially you're too stupid to realize you're stupid. And this rung true for me, because this I know for a fact, and don't get caught up on my words, I'm not putting myself down. This was actual fact, but in the beginning it saved me because I didn't realize how ignorant I was. So I wasn't beating myself up about it. I was just taking this is a spot for me anyways. It's taking moment by moment and doing the best I could. And because I wasn't carrying the larger picture around with me, I wasn't comparing myself. But each of my moments, I was awesome, regardless of what I was doing. I was doing it to the best of my ability, and that's all that existed for me. So anyway, so I let that go, and I stopped looking at that point because that kind of brought up a spot for me, and I let it go. And the next day I went out for another walk, and as many have told me, when I walk, it is never just me. It's like I have a horseshoe, a large, expansive horseshoe all around me. And these are all of my guides, guardians, angels, divine friends, unicorn. And they accompany me wherever I go. Many times I'm focused within them. Many times it's like we're one. It's like they're part of who I am. They've helped me through much, and basically they are the company I keep. So I was out there on this walk, and I literally, because I thank them often, and I talk to them often, and we get some great ideas together and realizations, and I literally turned around and looked up, and just a slow 180 all around, and thanked them. And I could feel like the reverberation of the energy. And I was filled at once with, this is my confidence. My confidence is in knowing that I'm never alone. My confidence is in knowing that I'm not in this alone. My confidence is knowing how much love I'm surrounded by, and that whatever comes up, I am in the best of company. There's my confidence. And that's amazing. So I wanted to share that with all of you. And then secondly, what came up, of course, was, it does, right? People talk about it and you think about it, and it's in all of our daily lives. It's money. So here's the other bit about money. If money is an energy, just a manifested energy that we use here in the physical to exchange other tangible forms of energy, whether it's a seminar or a product or however it is, whatever it is that we exchange money for, the service or product we receive in return, or those services or products that we extend and people give us back money for. So basically, money is like the coastal tongue. It is simply a vehicle we use to exchange money. It's a common tongue. It's everybody understands money. People have it, they give it, they purchase, they acquire, So this is just a fact of life. If you strip it all down, money is simply a manifested vehicle of exchange, of energy exchange, with nothing attached to it. Now here's a ticket. I have the abilities I have. And I realize that my abilities only carry me so far. But my ability comes from the fact that I have access to amazingness. I have access to, let's say, for brevity, God's work, okay? Which I'm doing, which I'm committed to, which I've signed on to. Now, for me to try and figure out how to make the money to sustain myself so I may do God's work, that takes me away from doing God's work. And since I'm doing God's work, and since I'm supported by my beautiful divine collection of companions, they can very easily bring forth the money required to sustain all that I want and desire and enjoy, so that I may continue to do God's work. As easy as that. Money then becomes, yes, I embrace it, I receive it, I love it, because with the money, it is simply a tool for me to then go out into the world, and for each thing I buy and access and acquire, and each person I talk to in the doing so, I give them a business card of the work of God that I'm doing. Therefore, money now becomes a vehicle to meet people. To meet people, it's a socially acceptable way to meet people. That's what money is. It's a socially acceptable way to interact with people. Therefore, I lovingly receive the money because it is a tool to expand the work I'm doing of service for God. So we can, I believe for myself, I can do away with the worth and like everything else. I know what I'm worth. Many times I've been stumped by the fact that others don't seem to see my worth, but that's okay. I know what I'm worth. And so anyways, that's all I have to say on that. So that's a different twist for money. Money is simply a tool for you to go out and meet more people, for you to expand this God's work that you are doing, so that you may service more people, so that you may have a wider reach. So receive the money with loving and open arms in support of this beautiful work you're doing. And please stop micromanaging whether it's about worth or value or past experience or nothing. The train's leaving. The train's ready to go. Accept the money that came along with your free ticket. The direction has been laid. Lean into the direction and accept the money that comes, because it's already here for you, so that you may expand, so that you may then perhaps acquire those pieces of equipment that will make it more efficient and a wider reach for you, or hire those people who will be able to join you in your vision, in your quest, and expand it out to more people. That's it. That's all it is. Money is simply a vehicle, a manifested vehicle, a coastal tongue for which you can now meet many people. With so much love to you. Have a great day.